You love me. You really love me. You love me. You really love me. You love me. You really love me.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome aboard Flying with Mike. Monday. Nope. Yeah, wait, is it Monday? Heck, I've lost so track of time. Yes, it is. Welcome aboard, folks. Start of another work week. We welcome you in. We're glad to have you. Thank you so much for spending some of your time with us. Folks, we are getting ready here in the ToLiss A321 to blast off from Atlanta over to Dallas Fort Worth. So we're going to head over to a hub here out of hot Atlanta, the busiest airport in the world. I'm sure you could squabble with that, but as of now, as I've been told, it is the busiest airport. Um, Hope you enjoy this. We are in just the plain old ToLiss A321. For those with us right now, here's a link to it. But anytime you want to access that exclamation mark A321. Blast off. No, no blast off at the end, just A321. Uh, so, and that'll get you the link. If you want to go the next step for the Neo is there with it. So, but anyway, we hope to have a great flight. Hope to have you all here. And one last thing I want to bring up. I really hope and pray you all enjoyed the flight Saturday night because I know I sure did. We had ATC from Charleston Executive all the way down onto the ground there in Westchester, New York, otherwise known as White Plains Airport. Um, Really a good, fun time. We had a lot of great people show up there, and just a wonderful time. The folks with Virtual USA Flying Club put that on, and what a spectacular flight it was indeed. So thank you guys. I know all they did was host it. It was the controllers that made it, enjoyable. Plus the added benefit of you all flying along. And I know some of you participated. So awesome. Those of you that, you know, got up there with a general aviation aircraft, be it me in a biz jet or you in a Piper Club. Um, it didn't matter. That's all it was just for some fun. Love for you to join us today. We're just doing a simple 700-mile flight from Atlanta over to DFW. So hope you all enjoy this one as much. So, and again, we're in the Stand Up for Cancer. Now, we're not doing any kind of a charity flight yet or not. I'm still kind of wobbly on how to do that. So we really do want to get involved in a couple of charities. Cancer being one for me, find the right organization, and then I'm one step closer. But St. Jude and Make-A-Wish are my other two. So And I happen to have an aircraft for Make-A-Wish. So really, really would love to get a charity flight in here sometime soon. I just need to learn a lot. So that's what holds me back. So I want to make sure it's done right so the money goes not to me, because that is not what the charity flight's about. It is about 150% the charity that we fly for. So, all right. Well, I show that the ads are about to start, even though 9 out of 10 times they don't. So we'll be right back up in the office with Sim Toolkit up. Oh no, it did that. Knew it would. Oh, it did. Let's try something here, folks. Gonna have to reload and possibly restart the sim. I had a bad feeling eventually it would conk out like that on me. It does it to me every now and then. So the good thing is you haven't seen the aircraft yet. I just realized. Yikes. Oh, there we go. Like, what the heck happened here? Okay, let me see what all I got to do here. All right, let me get into the aircraft. All right, well, we just had a nice big major malfunction. Let me get things reset. And as we come out of the ads, folks, we should be back to where we were. Okay, down here looks good now. Oh, I really hate when that happens. Okay, connections established, clear and clear. All right, and one last check since they reset. Let's get these reset. And I'm glad I did because they needed attention. All right. All right, well, subscribers, you all got to see that. Unfortunately, our followers and new people to the channel didn't. We'll give it just a few seconds. They are, like I said, at the break, and we'll get this thing going. And let's get Sim Toolkit up here now, as promised. All right, well, we finally, we got it on the second go around here. How much time do we got here? They ought to be back in about 5 seconds. So we're doing good. Whoa, looks like a whole bunch of traffic in Dallas. So you guys got the spoiler alert. All right, spoiler alert, as you heard coming out of the break. That was a perfect teaser, folks. Look over here. Here's our destination. Good old Dallas-Fort Worth. Busy, busy, busy. Just waiting for us. Just hasn't got any ATC yet. But we have a smattering of storms out here, as you see. And yes, smattering is an appropriate meteorological term. So let's get into it so we can get in the air, shall we? All right, loadout for today, 131 people, 7,200 pounds of cargo. So we'll have a payload of 30,130 pounds. We're going to block out of here with 19,000 pounds of fuel, and that'll give us about 157,650 pounds on the ramp. Not a real heavy load, but not a real light one at that. Kind of a in between, we might break even if we were trying to be an airline with this. We're flying for virtual, by the way, virtual American. If you're into as real, if you claim you're into as real as it can get, folks, here's one of those airlines out there that does. Strive for you to fly a real airline. So and I don't mean to slight any of the others out there. I mean you got to fly the right tail number, right colors, right everything to start with. Then your landings and your approaches all have to be within parameters. It's like I said, it becomes like a job, but I actually enjoy it because I like that challenge it puts on me to bring that airplane in and try to fly it as best I know, as real as I can. And I don't know how real it is for the airline pilots because, folks, flying a Cessna 172 or a Piper Warrior, and the lucky days I got to fly the Arrow, well, you're not flying an airline. You're just flying for fun. I kind of like to fly in the sim. So I like to try to dabble in the wish I coulda, woulda, shoulda, wish, stuff is there. So, all right. So there's our loadout. There's our flight plan. Real simple. Even simpler with the new advances with the FMCs out there in the sim world. Cost index of 27 and a flight level of 360. All right, so for the weather here in hot Atlanta, I'm not going to say it's real hot, but it's 84 degrees Fahrenheit, 62 degrees dew point, so a little sticky here. Maybe some would say a lot sticky, but humidity-wise, that sticky feel outside. A southeast wind at 10, 9 miles visibility. I'm sure that's all attributable to haze. That's that lovely stuff that comes in summertime. Plus the thunderstorms nearby, so there's a lot generating stuff here. Scattered clouds to go through at 8,000, 20,000, and 25,000. Nothing overly, woo, we're going to have fun, just some clouds. And the good old altimeter is going to be at 30.01. All right, over there in the Big D, Dallas, Fort Worth. It's actually kind of comfortable. Actually, it's really comfortable. Well, okay, let's strike that. Reverse. No, it's really muggy there. We'll get into that. Right now, the altimeter's 2978. Winds out of the south at 10, so obviously we're going to be landing on either the 1.8s or the 1.7s. Temperature 77. Now that looks just dynamite for the Dallas area. Until you look at the dew point, which is only like 5 degrees cooler. Yeah, can you say walk out and, oh my God, I got to change all my clothing again. It's drenched. So, yeah, it's really muggy, it looks like there. But still a comfortable 77 degrees. Anyway. All right, folks, again, we're going to be flying on VATSIM today, so buckle up, enjoy the ride. We are going to get started pre-flighting and getting this bird in the air. Now, what happened before? Y'all are going, why did you have to redo your sim? When you see these screens here gray out, usually either something timed out, something went wacky, and a simple fix usually works. Go up here to developer, and I choose usually reload, skip art reload. Okay. And all it's going to do is just that, reload the aircraft, and usually, put that in big air quotes, that fixes it. Last, before we get into this, I'm going to dare to do it. Folks, we are in Atlanta, and this is the Nimbus scenery. Although I can't seem to get a lot of it to work. I don't get it unless I have to get an update, which I'll have to figure that out. But I think the auto gate's working, but I don't know how to retract the jetway when it's time. The one thing that bothered me, supposedly, and it may not be at every gate, that's what my thought is here. You can come down here in your plugins to Nimbus info screen, and it's supposed to let me do this, but I don't think this one has that. I could be wrong. You all that fly it, please, please hit me in the chat or catch us on the YouTube when this goes up, because give me some feedback, because I'd sure like to know what's going on here. There's a lot of things that I really like, but there's these little gnawing things at me that I really don't, and that's why I don't get O'Hare. And I'm not 100% sure, but I think JFK is a Nimbus product too, and that's why I'm real nervous with them. So again, I'd love to hear from you folks. So check us out in the chat room here, or when this does get up to YouTube and or those watching us on YouTube, hey, down in the comments, give a fellow Summer a little help here. All right, so let's do it. We've yacked enough. We've spent a little more time than I wanted. So we are going to get right after it as soon as I get the right screens up here so I know where they are. And we're going to get this show on the road. And bear with me, I forgot to bring up one very important piece of equipment. And that is the, oh boy, do I do the Airbus 321 or my normal? Wait a minute, where is my normal? Where is it? Oh, that's how it's going to be. Okay. Found it. I'm going to do my normal. All right. So I got my checklist up here, folks. And what it is, you're going to kind of laugh, but I find the neat thing about Airbus aircraft, it doesn't matter what checklist you use, folks. They pretty much work across the board for them all. Can't say that for 737. Doesn't really work for a 757 or a 767 or, God forbid, 747-200. No, not even going back in time with the 737-200. So I'm kind of glad that I can use this concise checklist I have just because I think it gets me through it, albeit maybe a minute or two quicker, but that's a minute or two quicker for y'all. So let's do it, shall we? All right. All right. So again, A321, this is not the Neo. So, get, the easiest thing is you'll have the bigger engines back there. All right. So let's get up here. Your overhead looks just like an A319, doesn't it? Extra switch there. I'm not sure yet what that's for, but we'll get to it. All right, so the batteries, let's go ahead and check them. Okay, ground controls on. Let's do CVR test. I like doing that because it just found out that's a little, oh yeah, way too low. Try that again. Much better. Okay, external power's on. Fuel pumps all off. APU fire. And I just can include the engines while I'm doing it. Okay, APU, we have not fueled yet, so let's get down here and get that set up. Fuel. Okay, today's fuel load, 19,079. Let's go with 19,200. Always to be over, then under. Here comes the fuel truck. One of the things I do like about ToLiss, the animations are really good. Okay, let's get this thing people loaded. Now there's a couple ways. You could do this from using these nice little switches down here, or you could always do it the old-fashioned way, bring this up, go here, loading, and load it up this way. All right, so we got that. Now we're gonna bounce up here. First off, pretty good frame rates, so that's good. All right, click reset. And let's see, well, zero fuel weight was to be 138,571. All right, so let's come back over here. It's real simple to do it from here. Let's see how that works. Again, reset, 134. So we're 4,000 off now. Okay, that's simple, folks. So back down here, boink, boink, load. Should be right in the ballpark. 138.2. I'm a glutton for punishment, I know. Let's do it. 2,200 in the back. That should get us right up on it. 138, 417. Perfect. We're not going to be able to get it any closer. So that's just where I want it. All right. Actually, I never thought about the sliders. They might get it even closer. But anyway, this is perfect for me. All right, so we're loaded. We can see that here. Now, let's come back down here. And let's get that APU fired up. Very simple process here. If you all were with us with the Citation 10, you know you had to throw the generator on first. Then basically do what we're doing here, where you would master switch on, which is what in essence we just did. Hang on, I got to clear this. Waited for, well, we didn't wait, we just threw the master switch on. And then you click start. And then everything else is automatic. The only thing you have to do is punch the bleed. Pretty much, that's how Airbus is too. While we're here, I'm just going to set some things up because we're getting very close to that step. All right, cockpit lights. Let's check them while we're firing up. Everything looks good here. In the middle. Come on, hat switch, make the move. Thank you. Down, 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 down. All right, that looks good. And we are now available. Let's make sure we read available here. Back up. And flap levers. Okay, so we should have stayed down. All right, flap levers are up. You can verify right here. This is your flap gauge, folks. You don't have a panel gauge, if you will. Spoilers aren't arm, and how do you know they're not armed? There's no white band. And then finally, probe heat's off right here. Well, it's not off, it's in the auto position, and then your APU bleed. And air conditioning panel is all white. Nothing lit up anymore. And generator 1 and 2 are in fault. Why? Because the big engines aren't running. External power now could be disconnected. You're on the internal generator. Remember I told you it comes on automatically. And that, folks, sets us up. Ventilation panel set, no lights lit. Let's go ahead and start up our IRS. All right, now you'll be familiar with this. Strobe lights are auto. Nav lights will run with one. There's two position switch here, folks. There's two lights out in each wingtip. One is number 1, so you'll have 2 reds, 2 greens. If one of those is not lit, try the other one. Saves you from calling the mechanic. Could be a 2.5 hour wait. Real world, but you already know that, real pilots. Seat belts. Let's go ahead and turn that on, because we'll forget otherwise. No smoking was already on. Emergency lights already set. and landing elevation switch. Okay, that's this switch right here, folks. And just make sure the notch straight up as if it was at 12 o'clock. Pack flows as required. We'll keep it normal for now. Well, wait a minute, where is my pack flow? Oh, it's a switch on this one. Oh, we'll just leave it as is. Fuel pumps can come on right now. And we already did the engine fire check. Radios look good up top. Down here, Unicom. I think that was a CTAF, guard, and a Unicom channel. Last, go ahead and turn that, click, clickety click, up to 5, radar stays off. Master switches for the engines are off. Let me rephrase that. Your master fuel switches are off. Your mode selector is normal. You're all going, they got a master switch like my Cessna? Wow, that's cool. No, they don't. All right. All right, folks, that brings us right into let's getting that McDo all fired up. And I am fired up about this. This is what is so cool. This and the Zebo, both of them are phenomenal. And you're used to this in that in the dark side, so I'm not gonna really play it up like this is something X-Plane does and the dark side doesn't. No, we're just gonna say this is just a cool feature because it speeds up this process here so quick. I'm not gonna do a lot of talking, so you can see just how quick, but down and dirty on this, folks. If you have a SimBrief account, okay, you have to go this route to your ISCS screen, sound add-ons. Down here, you're going to see account IDs. It's going to want your SimBrief ID. Don't put your login ID. Okay, go into your account. Okay, in the account, look for your SimBrief ID. It's a numerical value. Put that in there, read the manual for the rest, and you will then be able to do what you'll see here. Now, if you want to log in CPDLC, great. I'm going to be honest with you, folks. This is not a diss on ToLiss. I'm kind of dissing this. There ain't a lot of people out there that uses it, so I don't know why it's there. Now, if you go over to like PosCon, they're on that all the time. They don't even, it's all text and there's very little voice, which can be a godsend sometimes, folks. But this, I just don't get it. So, but you all can, have at it with me in the chat areas. All right. So, but you have to go here, go to sound add-on, come down here, put your numeric ID, and then read the manual for if you want these or not on or off. Pretty simple. Let's do it. Again, I'm going to try to stay quiet here so you can just see how quickly we can get through it. Okay. Oop. My bad. Look at that. Okay, so 10 days. Okay, just so you know, we're going to check our flight plan just to make sure everything's playing right here for 26 left. Okay, so the flight plan itself is good. We're out to likes. And the next coming up here should show us in the hold. Okay, now if we have to go to our alternate, the alternate is Intercontinental in Houston. So we'll just come off on a departure to Torrin and then enter that arrival for uh, Intercontinental. All right, so that's all great. So there's the flight plan. Okay. Okay, we're just putting in the 0 fuel weight and the 0 fuel weight CG. That's what it's asking for, getting it correct. 19.2 on the fuel. And now we're going to go to the perf page. Now we are going to talk a little bit because there's some neat things here when you have these EFBs. We can actually go through, do some scenario work here. But we got to first find out what our weather is. All right, I'm going to bring in charts just one quick second here. Hopefully I don't forget. Let's go ahead and recenter. And let's bring up the departure ATIS, which is the first one. Information, oh, this is arrival. My bad. There we go. Atlanta departure information Oscar. Folks, this is the real world here. If you were on the ground at Atlanta, more than likely on the channel you would hear Oscar. 210 at 10, 10 miles visibility, few clouds, 3,800 scattered, 8,000, 20,000 scattered, scattered 25, temperature 29, dew point 17, altimeter 3001, blah, 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 blah. That's exactly what it would say too. No, seriously. The big thing though in the remarks, don't really need to translate this, I don't think, folks, but CB distant north, northeast, and northwest, thunderstorms distant. See, this is where that's at. Departures 26, 27, and expect RNAVs off the ground, 2 deep, departing. Okay, so the thing we're going to be worried about here, right in here first, winds. 210. Well, you can see this is not the most current one. This is as of, you would think it would be, but it's 51 minutes old. Maybe, let's see if there's, I'm going to check Sky Vector. Sometimes they surprise me and, nope. Thought maybe they may have updated over there. They did not. So 210 and 10 knots. Okay, temperature we said was 29, so this is significantly even further back. However, I think our altimeter's good. Runway appears dry. If you had a FICON NOTAM looking thing in here or information, then there's a good chance you would have a wet runway. At 29 degrees with the weather we have, I think we'll stay with the ice off on takeoff. We may have to bring it actively on after takeoff. .272, I just wanted to double check. Okay, now that you got the basics in here, folks, and I really told us, if you happen to ever listen to our stream, I'd love for you to. I would love to see the weather like you do the landing here. Would love to know what METAR you're pulling from. Okay, so what we can do now, we can flex. Got a 9,000 foot runway, it's a possibility. Let it choose the configuration, and I'm going to turn the air conditioning on. And this is what we get. All right, flexing, flaps 1, that's the auto setting here. Now you can go in here and set flaps 2 or 3. Now what the real guys I've heard do, they compile all of the data in their little ACARs, send it to either the company or the company's company or contracted company of choice. All right, sorry about that, folks. But anyway, they'll send it off to the company. The company will then send back the performance data. Most pilots go with it, but it is still the pilot in command's job to make sure things are capiche. Good. So in this case, this is what our company is telling us. 144, 144, 146. Well, I'm kind of not happy up here with only 1,200 feet to stop if we go with the V1 at this number. However, 108's kind of a lot of runway. So, you know, they may pick a number in between. But again, they're supposed to go with data given. Now let's look at TOGA. TOGA basically means 100% engine power. Flex means they're dialing back. Okay, you're not going to get 100% N1 and N2. Hang on a second, folks. I'll be right with you. Sorry about that, folks. Back with you. Anyway, so we can see now what we get with 100% power. Get 3,100 feet of runway. So I'm going to go ahead and flex. Just make sure nothing changed. Nothing has. We're going to go with this so we've computed. All right, so we know what we're working with here. Now let's go over here, uplink. Put in the correct data. Here's where it gets a little tricky. Let's go to the METAR here. Okay, it's 170. It's, whoa. Let's change the winds. Temperature 27. Oh, I'm wondering if this is a little bit more accurate. 29.7. Oh, I'm looking at DF. Oh. Try this again. Try this again. Temperature 29. Altimeter 3001. And if you really wanted to know what all of these remarks are, you can scroll down here and it gives it to you English. To some degree. Compute. Okay. Alright. So now that we're through that screw up, let's go. 210. Actually 1019. Actually 1016. Alright, so we've got our basic information in here. Let's go ahead, request. Received. Alright, and as you can see, we're flaps 1. Up 03, so every, wait a minute, where'd that go? Oh, there it is. And so we're basically good. We're gonna flex. So you got to click flex. And let's see, 57, 56. So we're gonna be a little off. Let's go, say 140, 144. Unfortunately, I can't play it out that way. How did I do that? Huh. Okay, so 140, 44, 46, 18. Everything looks good. All right, and there you go, folks. All right, so let's get this girl in the air, shall we? All right, so strobe lights, we've done all of these. Perf is set. All I got to do left down here, I'm going to set first officers to F plan so we can go direct where we need to. What happened here? Hang on. Where are we stuck in a line? I don't know why we're stuck in a alignment. Really hope I don't have to restart this. I've actually never had it do this before. Shoot. Oh my goodness, are you really kidding me? I've never had it get stuck in an IRS line. What the heck? All right, folks, I am baffled here why we are alignment 0 and nothing. really perplexed here, folks. All right, let's go ahead, dump it. All right, well, we'll give it the 7 minutes and see what happens. That is just strange what it did. I don't know if I'm going to have to go through and... Oh, Lord, I think I know what I did wrong. Right there, folks. Right there. All right, well, we're going to take advantage of this, put it in the right spot. Hang on. All right, we figured out our hurried up mistake, and yeah, it got us this time. All right, so not that one. Gate chords. T. Uh, 33, 38, 5, 33, 38. And 84, 26, 26. $84, 26, 5, 33, 38, 5. I didn't do this, folks. Ah. That's what I get for being in a hurry. Okay, that's good. All right, we're good. All right, so now init HB. Just making sure we didn't really screw up a lot of numbers. 138.4, 27.2, 19.2. Good, good, good. Perf. Oop, rate nav. Okay, perf. Okay, it looks like everything held otherwise. Okay. Unfortunately, that put a 7-minute delay on us. Oh well. My apologies, folks. Well, that'll get us time to get things going right here. Slow us down. Oop, not that one. All right. So I figured out what I did wrong. Well, we'll see. We still have 7 minutes to see if it'll actually align. It should. Yeah, it should. Okay. Dang it. All right, so we got all the bags loaded. Everything's ready to go, but those loose nuts up in the front, they're in front of the sticks. All right, so while we're here, I think we were saying 3001, weren't 0 now. Okay. Gotta wait for the alignment. Okay. Initial climb out of here, 10,000. All right, folks, sorry for that. Just looking over some things, seeing how it's looking. Let's go ahead, get online. We are American 982. A3 or A2 Neo, right? Or did I call it A321? All right, folks, we got 3 minutes. All right, while we got some time here, folks, let me clear up some clerical stuff here. Hang on, I'm trying to get the right button. Oh, I lost track what I was trying to do. But let's get some clerical stuff squared away. Tomorrow's stream, which was down in South America, has been pushed to Thursday. Something came up rather abruptly today I need to take care of tomorrow. So I already had one appointment scheduled. I now have 2. So I am most likely not going to be able to stream tomorrow. So I wanted to get that out, let you all know that stream will happen on Thursday, as well as Fridays. Again, barring any other changes that come right up. So if you're really looking for that South America flight, I apologize, but I had to push it to Thursday. Just do not see having the time to fly that afterwards, and I don't like half-assing it. I want to do it as I should. So again, forgive me for that quick schedule change, but it was I had to do it. So today's flight is slightly delayed. We just hit 0, and I think we are going to be aligned here. If not, I don't know what we're going to do, because again, we're still in the same problem. Wait a minute. We're aligning, I think. Give it a couple seconds. Yep, you can see the align buttons going off. Perfect. Let's come down here, read the scales. Perfect. GPS primary. We are good to go, folks. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking. On behalf of the flight crew, thank you for flying American today. Sorry for the delay here, but I believe we've worked out our problems here, and we will be pushing back here shortly. Again, sorry for the delay, and we'll be chatting with you a little closer to the runway. Flight attendants, prepare for departure. All right. There we go, folks. Now we're in the proper screens, proper everything. All right, let's get better push back out of the shed and coming up to the plane. This is a free utility for those
to cockpit. Please show me where you want to go.
For those curious. And by the way, being at Atlanta, we are going to have to use CTAF here.
Ground to cockpit. ToLiss driving up.
No, also, I don't know if that jetway is going to pull away. It's been this has been a weird scenery. I've almost gone back to the original. It just kind of been disappointing. And that's why Chicago, there were some asking, why don't you use the awesome Chicago scenery? Because Atlanta, while looks good, doesn't function like it says. So, but if you all are out there and want to help simmer out, chat room or YouTube comments. Or Discord for that matter. Why do I limit myself? I always forget about Discord. Here's a invite. All right, let's get down here while she gets into position.
Okay, all doors and hatches are closed. Ready to connect.
I always like to make sure it says avail before I turn it off. And you know what else we got to do? Ladies and gentlemen, that jet bridge has not budged.
Tow connected and bypass pin inserted. Release parking brake.
Now here's the moment of truth. Will it release now? Well, let's find out. Stand by. Okay, final checks here. Anti-skids good, gears down, lights are good. Switching panel is all facing 12 o'clock. TCAS to why don't we just take it all the way up? There we go. And rudder reset. And beacon's the only thing we have left. Brakes off.
Starting pushback, and you may start engines.
Well, look, the gate's moving. Well, I'll be doggone. Something finally worked here. Now if I could just get that info board, wherever that's hiding here. All right, well that made me feel better to see the gate move. While we're pushing back, what is our frequency here? $19.1's what I'm going to go with. All right, avail.
Operation complete. Go ahead and set the parking brake.
Brake set.
Disconnecting tow. Stand by.
Starting number 2. All right, after a little hairy-carry start, a couple of different ways, by the way, we're just about ready for taxi.
Tow is disconnected and bypass pin has been removed. Hand signal on the left. We'll see you next time and have fun up there.
All right, folks, we're pushed back. We got the avail. Let's start the clock for 3-minute time. And here we go. Okay. Okay, so flaps to 1. We're wanting up 3. All right, so we got our pitch set. Now, while I'm here, I go ahead, do my flight controls. You know, try to save a couple steps as much as I can. Okay, we're good there. And lead off, master switch off. Okay, last time down here for a few. Arm, check the doors. Okay, nose lights, brake fans, lapse time. Flight controls checked, auto brake, terrain on. And we'll go ahead and kick up the radar. And I think we're ready to taxi, folks. I don't know what the actual official common traffic is for Atlanta, but for our runway, 19.1 is it. All right, so cabin, we'll do a quick all call. And all right, we're ready to taxi. Let's do it. Arm the spoilers. Do the test. We're all green. Atlanta traffic, common traffic, American 982, taxi 226 right for departure. All right, folks, again, I do want to make mention tomorrow's stream has been postponed. We'll fly on Thursday. And then the stream that was planned for Thursday will get rescheduled as quickly as possible. But for now, we are doing Atlanta to Dallas, Fort Worth, and welcome aboard, folks. Sorry for all of the hiccups in the gate. Got us out at our normal time, and I'm trying to hurry to get us out earlier. Okay, that gave me like, what the heck is going off on the airplane? It's the enter marker. All right, somebody call the FAA and have that removed. Pretty annoying, I know. All right, folks, so let's get out here, get on down the runway to 26 right for departure. Again, hope y'all had a great weekend. Hope you got a chance to see the stream Saturday night. If not, check out our YouTube channel. It's all up there for you. It's really a good stream. Great controllers. Just a overall great time in the Citation 10. So hope you get a chance to take a look. Oh, excuse me, folks, man. Oh, hope y'all are really enjoying your Monday as best you can. I know Monday, oh my gosh, we're back to work. Oh. But let's take a look. And I'm just gonna, all right, so. First thoughts of the scenery. This is the first I've really gone any distance here. I'm kind of let down a little bit by it. Again, you all with this scenery, if you know what's going on with it, I'd love to know, because that parking garage is really a letdown. But otherwise, some of this, unless there's a conflict here, because I think there might be like another scenery overriding in here. So, if so, let me know and how to fix it. And the use, by the way, if you didn't get a chance to see Saturday, there were a lot of question marks in my mind on it, especially with this CTAF policy for, I don't know how much longer they're going to run it. The switching to frequencies and all, that kind of caught me off guard, so, oh well. I thought once you were on, like, you were on in VATSIM. Now I know in the real world you do bounce channels. Just seemed a little odd. But again, great controllers, great flight, especially when we got to Westchester. It was just really, just overall a great flight. It's been so long since I've been through Atlanta. I don't remember. I don't even think this might have been there. It probably was, but I don't know. All right, folks, we are at the end of the runway. Okay, let's clear up the chrono. All right, let's take off chronos, brakes, okay, looks good. All right, we're ready to go. Let's Atlanta common traffic, American 982 departing 26 left. Correct, or 26 right. Do 26 left. Nice little slope here, folks. Knots. Airspeed's alive. positive rate. Gear up. All right, folks, we are out of Atlanta. And Atlanta Common Traffic, American 982 out of the pattern. Have a good day. All right, let's set our top altitude, 10,000, 36,000. All right, we're on our way, folks. I hope you enjoyed. Sorry for the hiccups there between the screens graying out and then not hitting the Align IRS. Got in a hurry and missed a step. So, flaps up. Spoilers disarmed. Brake fan off. Okay, got a nice little rain cell here. And just making sure I got everything, because, hey, we are good to go, folks. All right, and through 7,000 for flight level 360. So folks, enjoy. Got a little bit of a rain shower now off to our north and west, which is actually just like right over here, and also some there. So we're going through that smattering here. We're right here pulling out. And go through this little cell here, and we're on our way. Let's get through 10,000 and get those lights off. In the meantime, let me put up the overlay. Right now it shows us 2 hours 15 minutes out, but folks, I think we can we'll see it lower as we get higher. There's 10,000. All right, here we go through that, and we're on our way, folks. Again, thanks for being a part of Flying with Mike. I haven't said it yet, but if you're new to the channel, we'd love for you to smash that follow button. Follow us so you know what we're flying, and hey, we just like, have you join in and relax with us. Enjoy the rides. If you're missing any part that you really wanted to hear, try our YouTube channel out. You just might find it ad-free and be able to watch it from start to finish. All right, folks, we are just going to continue the climb here, and we'll be back in just a couple minutes. always helps to unmute. Hey, folks, we're back with you. Now we're through 30,000 as we head for the Big D Dallas. Hope y'all enjoyed that departure. A lot of mistakes on my part made. It's been a while since we flew this girl, and the big one being, you got to make sure, folks, in that initial FMC setup stuff, hit Align IRS, or IRS Align, however the wording is. Yeah, or you're going to sit at 0 like we did. Had I caught that earlier, we wouldn't have had the 7-minute delay. Bad pilot. All right, so, but anyway, thanks for coming along, folks. I'm glad to have you aboard. We're looking at about an hour and 20 minutes to the Big D. Currently looking ahead, ATC, well, ATC is kind of funneled out of Dallas. A couple of aircraft remain behind in Atlanta. So, but hey, if you're up for it, we'd love to fly with you in the Big D, DFW. You know, you could look at Shreveport. You could look at heck, Houston, Oklahoma City, Tulsa. We should all get there fairly close together. By the time you get the planes fired up and in the air, we should be arriving pretty close at the same time. And of course, if you want to come from San Antonio, Austin, some more places to think about. But we'd love to fly with you, folks. So let's just keep this rolling. And I'm just going to kind of sit here a little on the quiet side today and let you all enjoy the aircraft. And yeah, you all know this is one I do like to fly a lot, the November 162 Alpha Alpha, the Stand Up for Cancer. I like these kind of aircraft. You know, I love the Allegiant Make-A-Wish plane, and a couple others. I have one for UNICEF and so forth. So, but cancer hits just about everyone within the sound of my voice. And in some way, somehow, that nasty word has found its way into everyone's lives. You know, I would also like to put this out. I am really wanting to do a charity flight for one of the 3 of my favorite. You know, cancer's one thing, but finding the right one to do the charity flight for is my problem. But Make-A-Wish and St. Jude, those are high on my list to wanting to do charity flights for. So if y'all know basically what I need to do in getting a hold of these groups so they know I'm doing this, I know I can go to certain things within the different Streamlabs, Stream Elements programming, but I want to make sure that any and all money received goes directly to those folks, because they're the reason for it, not me. I'm just a tool to help generate much needed monies to help the kids going through cancers and all the other, oh my gosh, Make-A-Wish. It's unbelievable to hear what these kids are going through. And if you all have a really strong, solid cancer group, I would love to work with them. to do a stream. So, but anyway, those are one of my biggest goals is to be able to do that. All right, we have leveled off. Hang on, let's turn that seatbelt sign off. Flight attendants, if they haven't already, are dimming the lights back there. Enjoy the ride, folks. You got about an hour before we're starting down. All right, folks, and if the music is getting too loud or not, let me know. I know right now it's kind of quiet, so it's going to build a little. It's a little bit of a crescendo in here. So to the end, about 4 minutes to go in it. But welcome aboard, folks. We are flying with Mike. A little background on me. Been flying with a private, well, let me rephrase that. I have a private pilot's license earned in 1983. However, I stopped flying in 1985. I just lost direction in my life and all. Took a lot to get me sort of, kind of, somewhat back on track up to today. And I kind of sometimes like to joke about it, but sometimes it is, you know how that can be. Thankfully, the Lord stepped in, has helped quite a bit. Taking me through a storm right now, but the mountaintop is right on the other side. I just keep my eyes focused on the Lord. But so since 1985, joined the Air Force and drove a truck afterwards. Started flight simming, helped me out a lot with the missing of flying. Folks, flying, oh my gosh. Getting in the air was really awesome. Just, my uncle put it once, he took a hot air balloon and flight. He said, once you got up about just above the tree line, get above the trees, he said, it was just so peaceful. And to me, that's what flying is. Just so peaceful to get up into the sky and just fly. Either from point A to point B or just out to a practice area or just out and about, just flying around. However, it's a lot of money. So thankfully we have this lovely hobby called flight simming. Some of you are in the Microsoft world. I'm in the X-Plane world. Hope y'all come to the X-Plane world because I think it's far better. But back then, whole different story. Microsoft pretty much was the animal. Flew for sure Flight Sim 2000. The best Microsoft Sim, Flight Sim 2004. Yes, that's not a typo, 2004. FSX, okay, that one we can argue about, but once you got a computer that could run pretty good with it, oh my gosh, it was actually pretty decent. I actually enjoyed it. Never switched to prepared. But the eventuality, once I got that computer, it would actually run out of memory. Not running it, just getting started. So I changed, bought a new computer and decided let's give X-Plane a try. Time to just get away from the dark side. And lo and behold, X-Plane was just phenomenal. Little bit of a learning curve, but you got a learning curve with the other side too. And boy, once you get past it, what a sim. Oh my gosh, then throw Zebo into the mix and ToLiss and Felis. Now ToLiss and Felis you pay for, Zebo you don't. And folks, Zebo is an amazing product that's free. To me, hands down, better than any other 737-800 sim out there. And just amazed me. So that's my story in 3 minutes or less. I fly X-Plane. You're not going to see the other side that I call the dark side. I think they've got some improving to do. Don't get me wrong. Oh, that is louder. Hang on. There we go. Sorry about that, folks. But overall, what a sim. The environment is what I look for, not the cloud. I mean, I wish the weather was just, but there's programs out there for that, folks. But the environment the aircraft is working in, meaning the physics around the aircraft are dead on. If not, I mean, they may lag a little. They're learning, they're improving all the time. They haven't figured it out yet. So, and I'm not going to get into, anything beyond that, folks. So there's my story, folks, and I'm glad to have you aboard. X-Plane 12.0.9 release client now, and we're all in the X-Plane world just awaiting the next update. It's like the Flight Factor 777. It's got the copyrighted by Downwind Sim words on it. Soon. We don't know when soon is. Trademark. Sorry, the word trademark was used, not copyright. But anyway, things are coming along. It'll be out. And I am waiting with bated breath like everybody. What's gonna be new in it? So, we are in cruise. Let me just make sure we got everything lined right. Oh, no, we don't. Let me get that radar paddle down. There we go. There we go. Now things aren't going to be what's way above us. I'll be honest, I never worked radar when I was a private pilot. But when I was a private pilot, folks, I did fly Tomahawks. They were cool little planes. Cessnas, Pipers. Probably hands down one of my most favorite planes to fly was Piper Arrow. And Saratoga. Those were my two. Of course, they do come with an hourly rate that's a little high. So, but even the others, today, if you were to fly them, oh my gosh, you're probably close to $100 an hour. And there's no way I can afford that, folks. Even if everyone here donated their entire paycheck to me. Okay, I might be able to get 2 hours out of it, but just kidding. It's just seriously, folks, such an expensive hobby. Even if you own the plane, folks, there's so much you have to do to keep the plane certified, parked safely, pay that fee, the fuel. Oh my God, is that expensive? There's just a lot to ownership, insurance, the whole 9 yards. that, you know, those of you that do it, thumbs up, power to you. God bless you. I just can't. I'm not that mechanically inclined to do the maintenance that's needed. And again, that's another cost. So, but I'm glad to have you aboard, folks, and we're gonna enjoy the flight over to Dallas. If I'm not mistaken, I'm gonna just verify before I blurt it out. I think it's Monroe. Ah, that's why I didn't. Uh-huh. Got that one wrong. Oh, wait a minute. Right? Oh no, I'm still not on. Where is it? It is Monroe. Monroe Regional Airport. Folks, the first company I drove a truck for, Burlington Motor Carriers, had a yard in the town of Monroe, Mississippi. Reminded me of a 2-week tour I did in Louisiana about 7 years prior, 6 years. Swampland, USA. Sorry to insult you there, Monroe folks that live, Monrovians, Monroes, whatever you guys go by. Wow, it was that whole trip from St. Louis down to New Orleans. Big eye opener for me, before the whole country, maybe even the whole world got the eye opener after Katrina came through such impoverished areas as these parishes in Louisiana. Holy mackerel, I couldn't believe what people called homes down there in Louisiana. Oh my gosh, it was just, I mean, what people live in and what we would call the slums up here. Oh, they were living on Rodeo Drive in Beverly Hills compared to what was down in Louisiana. And I was just shocked, as the country would be, at just how impoverished Louisiana was. So, so yeah, I remember that trip quite well. And reach out to those people as much as humanly can. It's just amazing. Oh. And we're just going to keep cruising on. We got Monroe about 182 miles ahead. And we're pushing over some thunderstorms right now. I say this much, Simaware does a pretty good job. I don't know what feed they get their weather from radar-wise, but it seems like it's pretty on track. And even X-Plane's depictions are pretty good. I mean, they're not what I remember back in Microsoft 2004. But then again, I was running Active Sky with it, and those thunderstorms, oh my gosh. Wow. Active Sky back then was really good. I've heard mixed opinions now, obviously long since, but wow. So, but anyway, I want to kind of sit back here, quiet down a little bit, and let the music play on, help us ease through this first work day of the week, Monday, and those of you that are off or just getting off, hooray, 4 to go. I know you just went, oh, really? But seriously, folks, the weekend is now only 4 away. So that's at least how I look at it. So we'll just kind of keep the cruise on here. We got about 1 hour to go. You know what? Before I take us into like a little bit of a pause here where I'm not talking much, let's get a preview for those of you here of what we're facing in Dallas. And take a look at this on the pre-brief, and we'll do the speeds as well. All right, how's that sound? All right, so as you can tell, we have Atlanta's information still up. Let's switch over to Dallas. As of 9 minutes ago, winds are still out of the south, 160 at 16, gusting up to 27. 10 miles of visibility and 2,700 foot scattered, 6,500 foot's the ceiling. It's a broken sky, so we'll bring the tools in to fix it. 28 degrees Celsius and 2970. Still very balmy there. Dew point at 22, folks. You can tell there ain't much spread, so yeah, you're gonna step off the plane and go, oh my gosh, I gotta put on a clean pair of clothes. They're drenched. So, but the good thing is it does not look like thunderstorms in the area yet. I think that's because they're priming themselves up for us later tonight here in St. Louis. All right, so let's look at it, shall we? We're coming in on the Bree 2 arrival. It's an RNAV, and it's meant for when the DFW is landing south. So that would be the 1/8s. As you see, the 1/8s, the 1/7s, and the 1/3s. I'll be honest, I have never landed on the 1/3s. But it's a good runway to help when volume is high at DFW. Okay, so here's our routing. You all can read through that. I'll kind of zoom it here a little bit. So, and while you're reading, I'm just going to do the rest here. So our altitudes you read on here, they're in inches of mercury. Transition level, I bet you can't guess. You would be wrong. The United States, no matter where you are, North America, pretty much no matter where you are, 18,000 feet. So we got one up on you in Europe. That changing transition levels is rough. Man, you got to be on your toes when you're flying other countries. RNAV 1, approach, DME, IRU, or GPS. I don't know why they do this. Why? Instrument pilot guys, question for you. Why would a chart say DME, IRU? I don't understand the reason for the repeat. And again, I was a private pilot, so, and even with the 12,000 hours on VATSIM, I never learned that one. Radars required. This is only for jet aircraft. So if you're flying one of them turboprops or Cessna 172s, yeah, you're going to have to find something else. Or probably you want to go to a different airport. This is for south flow only. We already went through that. When they're going north, check for it. Looks like the whiny RNAV star works for you. Hey, at least they tell you. Some airports don't. All right, so hopefully you've read the directions of what we're going to be doing here. From YUYUN, we proceed to wait, to Plummer, to Outland, to VYO. Now, VYO is between 24,000 and 30,000 at 290 knots. From there, we go to Bree. We need to be at 280 knots between 20,000 and 23. Interesting video out there. JetBlue and New York approach. This is not a VATSIM conversation. This is real world on YouTube. Check it out. We get a good discussion about the word at. Okay. From there, we proceed to bells, still at 280, and 17,000 to 15,000. Tackle, 280, 15,000 to 13,000. Wards. Now we slow to 260, 13 to 12. And in 11 miles, we're going to slow to 210, 12,000 feet at Dietz. Boot and Heidman are the final, and then we turn in on the approach. Now we're planning the 1/8. They're on this side of the airfield. Our planned parking area, unless it changed. This is actually a real world flight. Well, doggone it, I clicked the wrong one. So let's see what the real one is in fact headed for. A11. Okay. This is actually the real world. American Airlines 982. They're about an hour ahead of us because of our problems we had in DFW. Hey folks, that happens in the real world, by the way. They have problems on the ground, be it people getting to the plane, be it the plane getting in late, being a mechanical problem on the ground. It happens. So, you know, immortal words from the movie Stripes, and if you've never watched it with Dan Aykroyd, not Dan, oh, I lost his name. Bill Murray. Shame on you. Shame on me for not remembering Bill Murray. But anyway, great movie. Lighten up, Francis. So, all right, so there's how we get in. Now, 18 right is the animal we're going to be landing on. So that means we're going to have to go through the center taxiway, cross 18 left to get back up to the A terminal. Okay, just so you get your orientation here. Okay. All right, so let's go up one again. VTAR. Let's do this. Let's look at the ATIS as of 16 minutes ago for the DFW airport. All right, 170 at 16. We know that's changed a little. 10 miles visibility. Again, scattered at 2,700, 6,500 ceiling, and you can read the rest. Landing 13 right. Landing 17 center with a land and hold short. Landing 18 right. Land and hold short at B. Bravo. 10,100 feet available. Plenty of runway. We could even float if we want. All right. So let's go through the briefing strip up here, okay? ILS, localizer, 18 right. Here's your D-ATIS, and D-ATIS is a digital ATIS. You can go to a site. I'll give you the link. There it is. If you go there, put DFW up in the available facilities, you're going to get the same information we're reading here. What is going, and it's great to kind of be able to see this as you're going on longer trips, say like, I don't know, Alaska to Dallas, you know, that way you can kind of, oh, so the weather is doing this. Well, we'll kind of see what we're planning on. All right, next to it's the approach frequency, and here's our towers. We're on the west side, so we'll plan for 124.15. Don't really know which one would actually be considered the CTAF. Matter of fact, well, we'll get it later. The ILS will be automatically tuned here, but we'll make sure India, Victor, Yankee, November is in the box, right where you see the Mach number. Possibly with the frequency 111.9, but it will say 176 for our final course. All right, I'm going to move up this a little so you can see that Netty is right here at 7.8 miles out on the localizer. We need to be at 2,400 feet MSL, which translates or is 1,793 feet above the ground. Decision altitudes here, 807 MSL. Okay, that's cool. But your METARs are this one, AGL. This is your radar altimeter, height, 200 feet above the ground. Your METARs read the same, folks. When you look over here and it says 2,700 scattered, that's not 2,700 MSL, because it would be, well, here you would be about 2,100 feet. But if you go to, say, Vegas, you're going to be about 2,100 feet under the ground. So it's 200, so you get the feel here, above the ground. So it's telling you over here that scattered layer is 2,700 feet above the ground, not above sea level. Or 200 feet. 200 feet works great. Okay, well, I'm sorry, 200 feet's our minimum. Sorry, got that all confused. Oh, even got me confused. There's the missed approach, let you all read it. Here's some extra information about the approach to be cautious with. The glide slope ILS do not coincide, so you're coming down in the clouds, and when you go, okay, got the runway, look up, your glide slopes on the PAPIs and on your gauge are going to probably be off. When you go visual, we now work off the PAPIs. And in the real world, yes, simultaneous approaches on the 1.8s and the 1.7s. So don't be surprised if you see company traffic off your left wing in the real world. Okay, routing, Eichel, Johann, Legri, Netty, and then the IM. Okay, altitude planning, 4,000 at Eichel, 3,000 at Johann, 3,000 at Legri, and as we already established, we need to be at 2,400 MSL at Netty, starting down the glide slope if we're not already on it. I can tell you right now, probably in the 130 or less range for the approach speed. So we're looking at probably 710, 15 feet a minute for our descent. And it's going to take roughly 2 minutes and let's call it 33 seconds to go from Netty to our missed approach point, 2.4 IVYN, the localizer. Lighting, we can expect a full load of ALSIFs, approach light, sequin flashing 2, PAPI on the right-hand side, and our missed approach one more time. Minimums, even to include our visibility limit. So again, we know 200 above the ground, or 807. METAR you're going to read is above the ground, folks. RVR of 18, 3/8 of a mile. There you have it, folks. Okay, we're coming into Monroe, then YUYUN, and we'll begin our approach. I think we're going to get much of a break here, folks. All right, so let's look here. Dallas, METAR. 1953. Okay, so we're working off the same data we were just briefing. Wind 160 at 16. We're briefing 28 degrees there. 2970. And we're going to run with anti-ice off. Now, here's the fun part. We can decide how much runway we want to use on the landing. Oh, one thing I did not mention in the brief, folks, if by chance the airport is below 200 feet and 3/8 of a mile viz, we do have Cat 3, Cat 2 approaches available, which will take us significantly further down to what we have than Cat 1. All right. We're landing on a 13,424 foot runway. All right, so if we're nice to the passengers, we're going to eat up 5,500, call it 5,600 feet of runway, leaving us about 4,000 feet, okay? Which means we got to remember the land holds short at Bravo. So that would work. It's just a lot of runway and a lot of taxi back. Let me kind of show this. Now you see where we're touching down on this diagram? We're not touching down, but rolling out to 7,800 feet. Here comes the chart one more time. All right, so as you can see, our requirement to land and hold short is here. Now, I don't know if Echo 7 counts, but that would be close to 10,000 foot roll off, which in flight simming can be pretty close to accurate. No. But 7,000 feet, we're looking at Echo 4, Echo 6. Potentially Whiskey Mike. So then we would cross 18 left and then come up this way because we're going to be parking. Oh, wait. That's B. Dang, gummit, I got us on the wrong runway. Well, then we'll just kind of wiggle over this way. Man, we got to go all the way. We'll see. Dang it, I really screwed up. Oh, I thought that was A. Boy, this has just not been a kind flight to flying with Mike today. Why did that give us more runway? Oh, gosh darn it, I'm looking at it backwards. 18 right's down here, not up here. We're only using 4,000 of it. So if I go here, let's go medium on the brakes. All right, but we're looking at an approach speed closer to 140. I'm going to go ahead and pull our chart back up. All right, so we're closer to 140, so we're looking at... There we go. 743 feet a minute, 2 minutes, 21 seconds for our ILS. So rebrief that real quick. 138 is our approach speed. We do not get a landing speed here. We'll get that in the McDo. All right. So, all right. Okay, MLU is now 29 miles out. We are still 200 miles from top of descent. All right. All right, folks, so sit back, relax, enjoy the music. By about 10, 15 minutes, and then we'll be back with you. Feel free to chat away. Thanks for being a part of Flying with Mike today. And I sure hope you enjoy the flight. All right, folks, just getting some nice shots of the stand-up to cancer aircraft. We had a different one planned, but last minute change caused it to change over to this one. And it would have just looked like a normal American Airlines plane. So I'm kind of glad I did the change. I prefer this one any day. All right, we'll do a quick get this screenshot in. All right, let's take a look where we're at. Coming over YUYUN and entering our arrival. Folks, again, thanks for being a part of Flying with Mike today. So glad to have you aboard. And should be on the ground here in about 30 to 45 minutes. All right, folks. Well, we are getting very close. Looking at the McDo, we're about 128 miles out from where it's forecasting our descent. Here, let's do something here. Go to AOC. Let's see if we can get the ATIS. What the heck? Maybe I don't think it's available, folks, the feature. I never have gotten an ATIS on here. but I can do this, do this. All right, so 1953, was that the information we were working? Yes. So this is now 42 minutes old. We're still looking at 160 degrees, 16 knot with gusts to 27. Now, I really need to get with an instructor to understand how to incorporate gusts into my calculation for the wind, so that I can get a little better, and I don't know if it'll even translate properly into a flight sim. But 10 miles of visibility, and like we've been saying, scattered layer at 2,700 feet above the ground, broken layer at 6,500 feet above the ground, and the altimeter 2970. Peak wind, 150 at 28. About 20 minutes before this came out, so pretty windy there in the Big D. But that's something you can do from here to kind of gauge what you're looking at, to make sure what you're planning for is pretty much what they're showing there. Let's go back to the perf page, 105 miles out. About 80-ish or so miles out, we'll begin the process for the descent. Actually, we're at it. Actually, let's do it one other way. Let's update our winds. Wrong side. Okay, first off, left side on the McDo is where you put in fixes, holds, airways when you're building it. Right side is your altitude constraints, speed constraints. You would put those in then. And you can access wind data and update it. All right, first step complete. Let's go ahead, balance our tanks out real quick. So let me bring up the fuel panel. Come up here. All right, so you can see how we're running about 300-ish pounds over on the right side than the left. Here's how we fix that. First, come up here to your fuel panel. Turn the crossfeed on. Now, instead of the left side fueling engine 1, right side fueling engine 2, both sides fueling both engines until turn off the pumps from the right tank. And then we let this draw down. Now what it's doing is the right tank is fueling both engines now. So that's why the number's coming down. It's not dumping it. It's not pushing it over into the other tank, although some will slop in there. It is actually fueling both engines. Should take 5 minutes, no more than, is what I've been told. And that was by a documentary, folks. Real world bus drivers can tell you what it truly is. But basically, you're just trying to balance out the plane. And you can see some of it is spilling into the tank over here. But for the most part, it's being burned by engine 1 and engine 2. And we're already under to where we're only 100 pounds off or less. All right, I'm going to go ahead and silence the music, because if I don't, I'll forget. I will truly forget. And the process, folks, for getting it back in order, pretty much the same. Once we reach the same numbers, which we're about to, turn your pumps on. Then what I go is right back down, Push fuel so we get that page back up. Okay, we're gonna be a little off, and that's because I was slow on the draw. But we're a heck of a lot better off than we were. Now we're back to the left side fuel tanks fueling engine 1, right side fueling engine 2. There's no cross, the pipe is not connected anymore. All right, we're now 75 miles out. So what I'm going to do is go next page, or next phase. This will put us on the approach. Just going to verify our data. Still the same. Okay, so we're looking at 29.70. Now, how do I put that in up here? 29.70. Oh, excuse me, folks. 28 degrees. 160 diagonal 16. And again, it's because I don't know how to factor in that gust. Oh, crap. There we go. Okay, transition level looks good, except for the fact I clicked on it again. All right, now here we go. What are we going to use, MDA or DH? All right, let's take a look at our approach. All right, so here's how I read these two. MDA. Because the M is there, I take that as mean sea level. So that bold number is that. You could put that in there. You could put 200 in there, but you can't do both. You have to choose one. They're both the same level in the air. I am going to do what I've told most airlines do, is the MSL. I guess because it's real easy to read here instead of right here. This is where your radar altimeter comes in. Here's where it comes in here. Now, we are showing a 136 approach speed, 131 landing speed. It's good for me. And if we go back to perf, we stand 57 miles out. So let's get into the descent checks and get ready to land this thing, shall we? All right, 24, 30,000. So what I'm going to do, and then we'll track it here, Watt and Plumber, and then our descent will be shortly thereafter. So let's get in a little closer, and then we'll start our setup on the screen here. Landing elevations shows auto. We have the arrival in, we have the approach in, we have the performance, updated the winds, 20 miles from the top of descent. We'll begin that. start managed, and then we'll push it down a little. But again, thanks for being a part of Flying with Mike. We sure appreciate you, and look forward to many more flights. If you're new to the channel, hey, could you smash that follow button? That way you'll know. Programming / stream notes, folks. We will not be streaming tomorrow, the flight in South America. I have pushed it to Thursday. Another appointment came up, important that I'd go to this. So I had to push it. Thursday's flight will get rescheduled. And for those curious, the Thursday flight was, well, I'm curious now too. The Charlotte to Tampa flight has been postponed for now. We will get it scheduled as soon as possible, probably early next week. That's how I try to do those when it is unfortunate. I knew we could run into this because I'm blasting away, folks, with, with all that's going on in my life. I'm continuing to fly a lot of flights to try and just let that get out of my mind, what's going on at work, and settle down, relax, decompress with the flight sim. And I knew job hunting could come into affecting the stream. First one is tomorrow. So uh, my apologies for those, especially those of you in South America that have to wait a couple of more days, but we will fly it Thursday, just so you know. And if you're ever curious when and where we're flying, especially those of you on YouTube, hey, come on over, click that Twitch link we have in the information below in the more. Come down, click Twitch, click into the About section, and you'll see our flight schedule or schedules. There's a duh there, but I don't mean to be like that. So, but yeah, if you just click About, you'll see the same thing. Now, I have not updated this schedule change. I do need to do that when I get on the ground. So, just wanted to get that out again. I'll do it one more time before we call it tonight. That way, most people will hear it verbally from me, but it is out there on Discord and, well, the Discord channel right now. Oh, nice to see our moderator hanging in there, possibly lurking, but hey, welcome in. Thanks for being a part of Flying with Mike today there, Hawker, and hope you having a good start to your week. All right, we're getting close. We're about 20 miles out. So let's set 24. Start the descent on a managed. And that little squiggly line there, folks, basically there's a green dot right here, and it's going to start coming down the screen. We would like that on a managed descent between these two goalposts. That way, we're in what's called what the computer predicts the best angle and all to get down to our altitudes. Granted, we got several of those to do on the way down. So we'll keep an eye on it. Now you can see it's starting to adjust. And if we feel like we're not going to make VO at 24,000, that's what I'm shooting for. I can always take over and continue the descent where I control the descent numbers. But a beautiful day up here. Glad to have you all here. Wow. Company traffic ahead of us about, now they're about making the turn, so they're up by Bree. They're coming in from Fort Lauderdale. Welcome. And yes, folks, I could switch runways. I'm still half tempted to, but since we briefed everything for 1A right, we'll just fly it. We could, let's go ahead and set up our medium brakes. Altimeter we'll worry about at 18,000. Let's worry about our airports around us for a little longer. All right, now this is saying, this hockey stick tells us where we'll make 20,000. I am going to take over. And we're going to go down at about 2,500 feet a minute. That's going to put, you see how it's showing us where we're going to end up at? And if our speed starts getting beyond the set speed here, we will put up the speed brakes. One other trick you could do here, folks. Okay, since we know VO had to be between 24,000 and 30,000 at 290, we could have set an altitude in here instead of that range, which would then force it where we would have wanted. Same with each of these, Bree, Bells, TAC, Wards, and Dietz does it for us. We got to be at 12,000 there. Or set 12,000 and it should, in big air quotes, follow that path. And just a side note, folks, I left the timer on 1 hour, 28 minutes since we got on the runway and pushed the throttles forward. And set 20,000. And again, you can see it's going to be substantially past Bree. So I'm going to go ahead, take over again. And I think since it wants us at 290, well, it is 290. Okay. Yeah, when it says at a certain speed, be at that certain speed. That's what controllers are using to gauge the traffic into the funnel for the runway. So we're being funneled on this arrival, the Bree 2, so that we end up in the south flow to the airport. Now, technically, they would really like us on the 17s. I'm gonna say we don't have to worry about it. But you never know. Approach may come up. We may have to do a quick change. And if so, we'll do it. And if you're interested in this A321, folks, just A3 or exclamation mark A321, and that'll give you the link for the aircraft. And if you want to put a prediction in like I just did, follow that format in the chat room, Twitch. All right, folks, so we are proceeding in. Hope you all have enjoyed this lovely 700-mile flight from Atlanta over to Dallas. We have been trying to get away from the longer flights and doing shorter flights so we can get more in the stream time we have. But we had a lot of hiccups on the ground from the aircraft needing to be reset to the captain not aligning the IRS properly. That would be this guy. And so things like that happen, folks. Got to just be flexible and ready to adjust. So here we come to Bree. See how our company traffic is ahead of us. Alrighty, so they are getting ready to make that turn. Well, actually, they got to get in between Love Field and DFW. All right, we need to set. I think that's going to be pretty close. It's going to put us right at Wards. Looks like right around just after Wards at 12,000. So we'll just kind of monitor the descent. We're through the 20,000 points, so let's go ahead. Seatbelt sign on. Lights on. And we are good to go. All right, come back to Bing Systems. All right. Remember what I told you. You're going to see the identifier, IVYN. That's where we're headed. And the frequency there. We're not anywhere able to track it yet. But, and by the way, you can see that green ball coming down. And you can see, oh, it's gone now. So we're pretty close. So there you go, folks. Take over the speed. Oh no, we're slowing to 280. Okay, cool. So there you go. That helps you out there. We're about to pass 18,000, and I'm gonna need to set up our altimeter as of, wow, 1 hour and 7 minutes ago. 7 minutes ago. Go with that. 180 at 14. Now you can actually go in here, make that change. 180 diagonal 14. Temperature now 282967. And if you wanted to, you could quickly put those in over here. Just get it freshened up in your mind what you're going to be doing on the runway. We said 2967. No change. And no change here. Still 136, 131. We still got 807. All right. And good, folks. On profile, we're just under 280. Need to set our altimeter. Getting close. All right, let me just check something on the bad nav. There's our, bring it in real quick so you can see. All right, so here's our ILS 111.9 IVYN. Perfect. Course 176. Perfect. 3-degree slope. All right, folks, I just, again, checking all traffic. All right, just doing some quick email checks as we get ready to round the corner to go north. All right, we're at 12,000. We've slowed. Slower? That's right, we're slowing to 210. And just a refresher, folks, Eichel at or above 4,000, descending to 2,400 feet, so that we can make Nettie at 2,400 feet. So we can actually somebody unfamiliar with CTAF. Go to next phase. And I'm going to go ahead and descend to 6,000. See how this works out. I think that's a good speed right there. All right, folks, so we are really within about 5 minutes, so they say, of landing. Call it 10. And we'll try to do some work in with the replay here of the landing, but this ought to be interesting as we come down. Let's see, 10,000 feet. Ooh, look at that overcast layer. Go ahead, kick our lights on. Seatbelts are on. All right, let's see here. All right, we are working our way up there and should be ready to make that turn. We're going to be on the 18s, not because of the company traffic, but because yours truly screwed up in flight plan. But we've, done that the whole flight. So, all right, so we've got glide slope, we've got localizer alive. Not sure why we're not seeing traffic. All right, let's go on down to 4,000. And we're going to take over. $270. All right, so we are beginning our intercept. Let's dial this down. Okay, and okay, we'll arm up the localizer. Dallas traffic, American 982, established 18 right, landing DFW. Okay, let me get my chart. Johan, 3,000. Okay, time to start slowing up. Okay, we're on the glide slope. Do not have runways in sight yet. First layer of flaps out. Actually, now I think I might have the runway. Yes, I do. All right, folks, welcome in. Hope you all enjoy the landing. Exclamation mark the word predict, space, and a negative number. And you can take a guess at how well or you think we're going to screw it up. Feel free. Dallas Fort Worth traffic on common traffic frequency, Netty, ILS 18 right. Okay. One last time. And now we can slow to flaps 3, 7 miles out. Got a little turned around, was looking at the taxiway instead of the runway. Flaps full. Checklist complete. Final checks here. Let's go through them. ECAM wheel all green. Flaps full. Throttle. Speed mode. Nose wheel lights on. Cursor's been called and we are ready for landing. DFW traffic, common traffic 19-1. American 982, 3 mile final, 18 right. All right, I'm going to go ahead, take over. Can't screw it up. Can't screw it up much more at 3 miles than the computer, so hopefully. Boy, she like all of a sudden wanted to float. All right, I didn't like that landing one doggone bit. We'll get off at Whiskey Kilo, which is good. We can get over to the A terminal pretty quick from there. Wow, a lot of traffic here, folks. Hope I didn't miss a tower frequency or something. Just do a quick cursory check. Good, I didn't. And Dallas common traffic, American 982 off 18 right to A11. I know I saw people holding. All right. Ground spoilers, get those retracted. Roger, crossing 18 right. And Dallas Fort Worth traffic, American 982 crossing 18 left. And American 982's off 18 left to A11. Okay, radar off. Little bit of a taxi here, folks, little bit. All right, so we just gotta get up here, do the cross taxi on Zulu, and then turn in at, I think it's Juliet Yankee, then look for our spot. Hope you enjoyed the flight, folks. We'll start reviewing it here shortly once we get into the blocks. I'm not really comfortable with it. Well, maybe I'm over-examining it. See, American Airlines had it at a pretty decent rate. So we'll take a look at it on Sim Toolkit, and again, hopefully we'll be able to replay it. So again, welcome to Dallas Fort Worth. We just got a taxi about a mile, hit Juliet Yankee, and then turn in for our runway. Okay, let's see how we're going to do this. This ain't too bad of a parking area. I am concerned, though, that I may have landed pretty slow, which, in ultimate scheme of things, you do want it to be right at stall, but most airliners don't land usually by the stall speed. All right, there's our entryway. Believe it or not, we're parking just somewhere right in there, so. See how our brakes are holding up. We're a little hot. And we'll go ahead and kick the fans on. All right, now we're ready to go find it. It's like a couple down from this outcropping will be our gate. We'll see if they've numbered them, if we can even see them, come to think of. Just go for this one. Hope for A11. We could be off. All right, folks, we're in the blocks. All right, final checks here. APU is available and running. Flaps are up. Master switch, terrain's off, brake temperatures, how are we doing? Looks like we finally cooled the brakes and brake fan can come off. All right, APU bleed on. And engine switches off. All right, we are in the blocks, folks. Welcome to Dallas, Fort Worth. Okay, let's throw the chocks on real quick, just in case. I think it goes automatic from. All right, we'll find out. Oh, we got to turn the beacons off. All right. Okay, let's hang on a second, folks. All right, yeah, everything's starting to open up like it should on auto. All right, let's close that out. I'm going to go ahead and disconnect from VATSIM so I don't forget. And let's take a look at this landing, shall we? Now, according to Virtual American, for those of you curious, it's right here. Read, learn, because they do operate in a very realistic operation, so just be forewarned when you go in there. All right. But they're showing us at 70 feet a minute. I think I may have had a bounce in there, so we're going to complete the flight. Oh, they got us at 125 knots, so I feel a little better there. Hang on. Sorry, folks. All right, so we'll file the PIREP, and nothing we can do about it now. Except see if it's been accepted. Sure looks like it. Hang on a second. Sure there's no flags on it. Oh, perfect. Good deal. Got everything I wanted. All right, good deal. All right, let's take a look at it here from the perspective of Sim Toolkit. And you're going to learn quickly why I prefer Sim Toolkit over the other one called Volanta. You're going to see real quick. It comes down to this part right here. Hang on a second. Sim Toolkit, where are you? Oh, there you are. All right, so you can see we landed at 170 feet a minute. By the way, 75 feet a minute's what American had us at 125 knots. Little better on the landing. Like I said, I think there was a bounce. But anyway, so pretty decent there. Let's go ahead, finish up the flight. I got to double check why it didn't record it. But it looks like it did to me. All right, so here is the flight. Pretty much what we flew. View our details. 2-hour, 17-minute flight, 630 miles. We burned 5,250 kilograms of fuel, 1.2 on the landing for G's, and 170 feet a minute. That is not bad, folks. Not bad at all. Now, here's the part. Now, Volanta does all that. But here's where I learn a little bit more about my landing. Okay. All right. UPS over here. So you get you a little geared if you're familiar with DFW, coming in top of the page, going down the page. All right. So thresholds right here at the top taxiway. 500-foot marks are these hashes. This is approximately 1,000 feet down the runway, and it is the visual cue you're watching. You're watching both that pad and your PAPIs right here. If memory serves, I believe your glide slopes here. So the whole landing concept for any airport is geared to put you down right here. Okay, PAPIs will do it, ILS will do it. PAPIs might put it a little further up, but still, you're gearing for there. You can see how the real world took shape here, where the thick black line is. You can pretty well tell that's where most of them landed. Now the land hold short right here. So it's geared to get you on the ground, so you got plenty of runway to get stopped, get off, get to your gate. Okay. All right, and we ended up right about here. All right, so overall, not bad. Numbers-wise, 20,000 feet down to 10,000, down to 13,000 foot runway. That is never good, folks. No, 2,050 feet down the runway. Beautiful job. Again, that's still 8,000 feet before the lasso. 17 feet to the right. I'd like to be a little closer to the center line, but hey, we'll take it. Pitched up about 5 degrees, 110 knots. Would have liked it to have been a little faster, but heck, 170 feet a minute. Great landing. You can see the rest of the metrics. That's why I like it. I can visualize where I touch down. And then the neat thing about X-Plane, we can go the next step further. Okay. And what I like to do here first, I like to just go ahead, close up my airplane. I probably really don't have to, but I figure what the heck, why not? Get the chocks off. And so I've had a couple airplanes here where if you leave the door open, the door stays open in flight. Actually quite funny watching it in a replay, but not what we really want. And then we'll get the jetway away. All right, let's see if it's going to let us do a replay. It's hit or miss, but we're hoping. Hey, so far so good. That is always good to see. Let's go just right about there. That looks good. All right, let's get some music going here. And let's learn, shall we? All right, let's accelerate in. Now, the weather will not be the same. You could have flown through a rain shower and it could be dry, or you could have been dry like we were and then a rainstorm. So, is what it is. But again, thanks for being a part of Flying with Mike. Sorry for all the little boo-boos today, but we're doing our best here to give you some really good flight simming information. All right, let's see how we did. I knew we were going to be high. Don't know why she floated up on us like that. Actually, that was a pretty good landing. And no, there was no bounce. Wow. Let's take a look at it from a couple of other angles, shall we? We call this the Hawker 125 angle. Get your cameras out, folks. Screenshot time. Boy, nice touchdown with the music. Ha! Pretty good. Let's get one through the nose. Wait. Sorry, folks, forgot which which key it was. That blown up. Man, I was aiming right on to a perfect landing, but we'll take what we did. All right, folks. Well, welcome to Dallas Fort Worth. We'll get a couple more angles. I'm pretty sure the tower view will not work out well here. We'll give it a try, though. Let's see how the passengers liked it. Boy, that seemed a little rougher than advertised, didn't it? Let's see out this side. Yeah, not too bad. All right, we'll do one more view from the tower and call it. See how it looks from their vantage point. Usually it's a great landing, folks. Boy, it looks like I overflared a little. Actually, that's not bad, folks. All right, well, welcome again to Dallas Fort Worth. Thank you so much for being a part of Flying with Mike. Programming note again, tomorrow's stream has been pushed to Thursday. Just no way I'm going to be able to get it in with an extra appointment now. And prayers, would love prayers for this. Oh, would I love prayers. All right, folks. We're here in Dallas. Next up is Ascension in South America to Cordoba, South America, in Argentina. So hope you all can join us. It's going to be a fun time. Again, that'll be Thursday, not tomorrow. So I hope you all have a great week. Hope to see you all on Thursday's flight. God bless you all, and we will be back in the air come Thursday. We'll see you then, and we'll take a look for those of you here on Twitch to see if we can find someone to hand this off to. All right, folks, let's see what we have out there. Sorry, I had a lot going on there real quick. All right, well, unless you all have a recommendation, we're going to go ahead and call it. I don't see anyone out there. So you all have a great night. God bless you all. We'll see you Thursday.